In the morning with Huggy Lowdown on Magic 102.3 and 92.7. Well, it's not every day you get to talk to an accomplished and legendary actor, producer, writer, and comedian, Marlon Wayans. Good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Marlon, you didn't have your coffee this morning? Or
Nah,
who
I'm
didn't?
uh, I'm going back to sleep. I'm just doing this for
Yeah.
you, and I'm taking my black behind back to sleep. I don't hype me up with coffee and start my day till it's time to start it.
I feel that. Trust me, I get up very early. But first off, congratulations to you and the Wayans family on the Hall of Fame honor at the NAACP Image Awards.
Thank you.
That was just incredible to watch as a fan of the family, and it was well deserved. I'm like, what took so long? But
You
can
know,
you talk about how does it
every
feel to get
everything
that
is
kind of
God.
recognition?
Everything is God, right? So it's not that it
Yeah,
took long. It's just like it just took that long for it to be a new beginning, right? So we look at that not as the end, but we look at that as the new beginning. Look what we've accomplished. We've never looked up from doing the work. All we do is do the work. And we
yeah.
never give ourselves flowers because busy doing the work. We've always been about the work. We've always been about the art. And now seeing that what the impact we've had on the culture is continue to impact it in a bigger way.
Absolutely. And what an impact it's been. I mean, from, in Living Color and to you doing, the Wayans brothers with your brother to your iconic characters like in Norbit. Like you make such an impact with everything that you touch, Scary Movie, and then of course doing stand up with Wokish. Your comedy just always hits and sticks because I think the measure of a good comedian and a good actor is when you can recite something that they said, when you can remember something,
Yeah,
that was said in
yeah.
that character. And I just want to know how you feel your comedy has evolved over the years because you've touched so many different characters and been in so many different things. Do you feel like you're still growing and still have room for more to add to your plate?
Definitely still growing. I think before I had great instincts, and then I became a really strong actor. So I was able to marry my comedic instincts with the strong actor, and then I became a good writer. And
Yeah.
then I started doing stand up. And once I started doing stand up, now I create from a whole nother place, a whole nother space. I'm able to be on a stage and practice every weekend. So I feel like I'm so much more evolved because I stayed a student. I kept breaking myself down and going, let me learn something new. Let me work on something new. So now for me, I never want to be a guy that could do one thing good. I wanted to do everything good. And so whatever God's got me on this journey to create is hopefully something the world's never seen. Um, and I mean, I hope to be different kinds of funny so that you know, because otherwise you get into a gimmick, right? And somebody can always do you. One of my
Yeah.
greatest, I think, for me, one of the greatest compliments right now is
Mhm.
I don't have a gimmick. I know a lot of great impressionists. They can't do an impression of me because I do so many different things. Like it's hard. I do characters, I do white chicks, I do little dog, I do, that you have to do everything in order to do me.
You have to do everything. And like I said, I keep bringing up Norbit because that's one of my favorites, as well as Don't Be a Menace. Like,
One, two, three, four. You stepped in the pool. Gotta wipe it off. Norbert was crazy. What was great about Norbert was all it said, honestly, or it said Buster Taps. And I created a whole Buster Moves Perkins tap dance instructional class. And Brian let me film the whole thing. And that was just straight off of, I said, I never shoot to the target. I shoot
yeah.
through it. So I created like a 40-minute class and we filmed it.
It was classic.
Thank
And
you.
it speaks to people that trust you and trust your comedic genius and trust your timing and
Yeah.
trust that you are going to nail that character or whatever it is that you're doing because who makes scary movies funny? You know, in a way that you did. Now we've had all types of I guess you could say parody movies and things like that. And even as it continued without you, it did not have that Wayans touch. It didn't have that Wayans magic. And you could
That flavor.
tell
Yeah.
it didn't have it.
Yeah.
And even with the entire movie, I know that you and Sean collaborated with
Hmm.
that movie.
And we'll
There are
collaborate again. So Scary Movie 6 is gonna be all Wayne's filled. They're gonna
that's
have
what
that flavor
I
back.
was gonna ask about. Now, who tell me who wrote the part with the man with the hand? Who
That
wrote
was
the
all of us.
line, "This is my strong hand"?
That was all of us. That was just us in the room, making each other laugh.
Yeah,
And it's funny because we don't sit there. I don't remember who says what. It's rare I remember who says what. I just know
yeah,
we just do it because we don't sit there and take the credit. I mean, individually, I think we all got to take the credit when something funny happens because we all came up with it.
yeah. And you're born into a family of just funny. You know, you talked about how funny your mom was and just how funny, your siblings were. And, was it that pressure when you're growing up to be funny, to be the funniest one in the room, to be, because I feel like you're the most animated, if that's the correct word. Like
I
you're
just think
the
that you
physical
have to.
comedy.
It allowed me to find my identity around a bunch of funny people. It's like,
Yeah.
who am I? What makes me special? What makes my point of view special? And I'm the wild child. I'm the one that will jump out a window to make you laugh. You know what I mean? Like, they know it. Marlon will light himself on fire to make people laugh, and that's just always what it's been. And then, for me, it's always about doing the work. I work hard. I don't have days off. So when people come
Mhm.
see me and you say trusted, you can trust that I work hard and I'm not gonna give you no BS because I'm not phoning it in. I'm working
Mhm.
hard. I'm not on the stage once a month trying to gather what I'm gonna do. No, I'm on stage every weekend. So I know what I'm gonna do. And
Oh,
I
okay.
I know it so well that I save space to create something brand new and the audience doesn't even know what's new and what's not what's old.
Now, I saw an article recently where I think it was saying something about you not really thinking about censorship when you did a guest appearance on Papa's House or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I never
and
do.
yeah, and so that's what I'm wondering. Were you, especially with how things are now, where it's like, man, if Don't Be a Menace came out, where some of these jokes might cause people cause an uproar. Do you walk that tightrope of? Okay, no,
No, I don't even think like that. I
yeah,
find that you know why they can't do "Don't Be a Menace" 2 today. You know why they can't do White Chicks today? Because
why?
they didn't do it the first time. We did.
Mm,
We know what the jokes are. We know how to tell them. I'm a joke scientist. I'm on stage every week, and I know how to make people laugh at themselves and at others, and not take offense to you having an objective point of view about something and finding the funny in it. So I don't believe in anything taboo. I don't think you shouldn't talk about that. You shouldn't talk about this. All things you say you shouldn't talk about, those are the things I like to talk about in my set.
and that is why you are the wild child. This Saturday, the theater at MGM National Harbor. I know you are going to tear the stage up, but I was thinking a couple years back, you had people cracking up talking about you can make anything funny, as you said, but you were talking about on your wellness journey and this Russian yoga experience
Oh
that
yeah.
you had. Are you
Yeah.
still on that wave, or did that downward dog just take you out? Are you
I ain't never
still-
been stretched like that in my life. I don't know if I ever want to be again. That was a form of it. I was sitting there and I was like, wait, I'm paying for this? That's why I don't get them sadomasochists. Like, why would you pay to have somebody step on your testicle? No. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Mm-mm.
and it speaks to your genius. So let's talk about legacy real quick, because with the Wayans name being what it is in Hollywood, what kind of mark do you hope to leave behind? I saw you doing collaboration work with Cypher. and protecting to protect your work on in the digital landscape. So can you talk about like your legacy and how that would play a part in, preserving your original work?
Um, it's like I think when I think of legacy, it's like I hope every generation and every child that comes from us learns something different that they can bring to the table. We learn how to make great movies and we learn how to make really great comedy and content. And I just want, and I tell my son all the time and the kids, I want you guys to be owners. I want you to understand the business in a way we didn't because we was talent. And so as we become bigger, better businessmen and build industry, I want y'all to put that in the forefront of everything that you create, that this is your creation and that you should hold on to your IPs.
Absolutely. Um, Before I let you go, if you could travel back to any one of your sets, whether it's Scary Movie, whether it's the Wayans Brothers, anything that you've done, your Netflix taping, which one would you revisit and why? Which one had the most the impact on you?
All of them, man. But I would probably say "Don't Be a Menace" because that was
My
just
favorite.
a time in life where we were working, we were young, and it was working off instinct. And we had a bunch of young friends that had great instincts, and we made something special in spite of all the odds that was presented in front of us. And there was just like an innocence to that time and a fun that we had. And over the years, some of that fun can get wiped out, because it becomes work and monotony, and you start
Mhm.
losing, uh, you start becoming like tainted. You start losing why you did it. Don't Be a Menace will always be a reminder of why I do it and how the fun I want to always have on every set.
Do we have a? I mean, do you ever think that you guys would revisit In Living Color in like the sketch comedy realm at any
Yeah, I
point?
mean, I don't know if it'll be necessary in living color, but I
Not
do
In Living
think
Color, but something.
I do think that Wayans Family Variety Hour would be a lot of fun. I think
Yes.
families need us, and we need to put that smile on people's faces. So that's something that possibly will happen.
Looking forward to it. And please send Kim my love. Like I love Kim, everything
I
she's
will.
in. It's great as well. Can you tell everyone what you're working on aside from Scary Movie 6? What other projects you have coming up? Do we
Well,
have
Scary Movie
more
6 comes
movies
out
booked?
June 12th next year, 2026. So big summertime movie. We're gonna have those jokes, and then in September this year, I have a movie with uh, Justin Tipping directing, Tyreek Withers co-starring with me, and Jordan Peele's Monkey Bar Production producing, and it's called Him. It's a psychological horror thriller. It takes place in the world of football. So Marlon's busy.
Marla is busy, and you will be busy here in the DMV this Saturday, the theater at MGM National Harbor. We cannot wait. Thank you so much, and thank you for
Thank
all
you.
that you've done, you and your family.
God
Appreciate it.
bless. Thank you,
Now
baby.
go back.